Hello, my name is Evalds Urtans, and welcome to the AI Ranch, the podcast where we try to make sense of a wild west of AI, and especially for the business people, for the researchers, for the practitioners, for those of you searching for ideas and tools. And this is a special episode where we look at the latest news. So be ready to take notes quickly, pause video, see what you like, and let's proceed. So we'll start this episode first with the things that are on half-baked, that are on the research phase, and that is not yet proven in the market. And then we end this episode with actual practical tools that you can use immediately now. So we'll start with looking at some of the research from Stable Diffusion, where you do the text-to-image models like DeepFloyd, which achieves really significant results using upscaling of the result. So upscaling is nothing new in itself, but this has been used even for the diffusion models now. And the latest addition is the Stable Diffusion model SDXL, which can be run on consumer-grade GPUs. And that's good news. That means that basically we can build really significant results of image models just using regular GPU cards. And it's been trained using LoRA. So those of you who are researchers and have not heard much of LoRA, which might be that some of you have not worked with this. So this is a low-rank adaptation for large language models initially, but now it's been applied for all sorts of models. So LoRA is a transfer technique where you, instead of fine-tuning model weights after the training, you estimate what should be the matrices that are included in the model graph and then fine-tune only those. So basically, instead of training billions of parameters, gigantic models, language models, image models, you just train those parts which make them behave as you wish, and also ensures that nothing is lost. There is no catastrophic memory loss and so on. On the same note, there is the Google Imagen model and Party, which was for the photorealistic image generation. And these are also text-to-image models. You might not know them as well as the other ones because they've been published already a year ago. And the interesting thing is something new should be coming from the Google research labs, specifically in this field, most likely, as there is a silence for such a long time. So then there is lots of great research in text-guided image models. So the idea that you can have the bounding boxes or some kind of segmentation where you do the prior of writing the prompt. So what you want to see in that part. So like if I want to just change some car to bicycle or some other part of the image to different setting. So it is possible to do. And there are multiple models to do this. One is that you can even use Stable Diffusion itself. You can do BoxDiff model. You can do Visor GPT to cut out the skeletal parts of the images and then use them in the previous tools to automate the process of changing things in the images based on prompts alone. So there's lots of things going in that direction. Then image-to-text answering models. So this is a really great area of research. Those of you find research also for the applications, lots of opportunities. So we start by CLIP. This is the most popular model that achieved 76% ImageNet accuracy based just on these generated texts. So if it finds the right class of the image that you want to classify in the ImageNet, you can calculate accuracy of that. But then, since the CLIP, there is already next advancements like lens model, where you have image-to-text answering, where the typical thing with these models is that you froze fundamental parts and they just either use them zero shot without any training or train only parts of it. Do not retrain the whole structure. So there is a lens which allows you to do the image to text, kind of like a classification, even without any training. Then there is a blip 2. You can do even segmentation of the models, and all of these have demos. You can segment your image without even training it and get the textual results. There is also text-guided image-inpainting, so that's really exciting part. That is an extension of typical inpainting. A classical inpainting, this is like DeepFill, V2, co-modulated GAN, Llama, which is not the language model, but for the inpainting tasks, repaint, stable diffusion. Diffusion, by the way, comes by default with the inpainting function because it's already made by slowly changing the noisy image into clean image, so you can change this only in some parts of the image. There is the multimodal transformers that are right now coming out to do the many tasks from many pre-trained transformer parts, like you could operate with the text input, with the point cloud input, with image input, and generate back something else on another domain. Unfortunately, I think it's in early days, but at the same time, great opportunity for researchers because the quality is not yet there, but in the single tasks, it's really great. There's also lots of cool things happening with text to 3D. So there's early days of Dream Editor that is able to generate 3D from text, but then more mature solutions like Wonder Studio, where you can use prior of the skeletal animations and generate 3D models in high quality. And then there is something definitely going on with 3D generating content. I know one the artist who is working with the TOOLBOX, the platform where you can distribute 3D content. So, and the TOOLBOX is changing the licensing clause that basically your content of the 3D models that you want to sell others will be used in the generative AI models. So it's not like the 3D models that you use as a base will be then used in the AI models, the AI solution, which will generate some 3D assets like some objects that you want to use in your projects. And there is something definitely coming up in that direction as well. And then let's go back to the some older techniques which are not forgotten and also give great results, like DragGAN. So this is a controllable GAN where you can use the vectors to change the results of the, and they have really great demos. Then there is a really exciting direction, which is already not too new, but still really cool. It's combining vector quantized GANs with clip models and getting the similar quality results that like the image-to-text giants like Stable Diffusion and so on. That's a really promising direction. Then finally, let's go to segmentation tasks, also in image domain, where there's a lot of things going on with zero-shot models. Like there is the semantic segment anything model, where you can, without any pre-training, get out the textual annotations of segmented parts in the image, guided segmentation using one-shot, where you provide some examples, recognize anything dataset, and others. And they usually test this on segmentation in the wild dataset for evaluation. But this is really exciting. There's a lot of models that do not require any more your own datasets. You can do lots of with zero shot. You can freeze the weights, do something on top of it. That's a typical trend for image processing right now. And let's go now to the tools. So this will be the tools section for our today's episode. So first of all, let's look at some of the classic tools for the image processing right now in the AI field. So one is from the text to image. Of course, you all know the DALL-E. So DALL-E is still out there. Then there is Midjourney. Midjourney right now have latest model 5.2, which gives significantly better results than previously. I know some people who have tried Midjourney, didn't like the results, didn't return, but at this point, they significantly improved the results. And right now, as I talked with one of my artists, maybe the only disadvantage is that you need to work through the Discord with it, but otherwise, it's really great results. Also, the big guys like Adobe is not far away. So they have the Firefly, which the artist that I told that it looks a little bit like stocky images, but then there is also the Photoshop generative package. And the Photoshop generative package allows you to do all sorts of great things, which finally came from the research field to the actual tools field. And there's possibility to remove objects just by segmenting them out of the image, fill parts around the image, and all of this can be done using prompts. So that's really powerful, that you have very specific control over what you want to do. You can modify backgrounds, foregrounds, facial features, even hairstyles. You can, there's examples already, some case studies where they expand the album arts to do some more visual assets for advertisement campaigns. You can do the, I know another guy who is running the band of musicians, and they create a different character for each song based on these models. Or there is the there's lots of tools right now out in there's an AI for that website. You can look out if you have not seen of this. There is a really great website to find by the keyword of in-painting. So let's, to finalize, let's look at some of the small tools. So these were kind of big tools, right? Like DALL-E, Midjourney, Photoshop, Adobe, Firefly. There's a group of those, but then there is a ton of small tools that you primarily can find there's an AI for that website or some other tools. So if you want to do the same things like remove objects, remove backgrounds, do the super resolution, do the style transfer, you can use cutout, you can use the image upscaler, you can use the in-paint. Photor is something recognizable. There's also very easy to access nowadays deepfake type of models like Face Swapper, Deepswap. There is also lots of great tools to create the videos without filming them. So, for example, photo shoot tools. You can make headshots, like actual photographies for your business cases based on not so good photographies, right? So you put on your photos where you're not looking the best, and then generate photos that are very professional. Then you can use another tool, Outfits AI, which can change the outfits, and then you can use another tool, lip sync video, where you would write the text you want to say, your avatar to say, and then it would record a nice video in a very professional manner. So nowadays there's lots of opportunities in there. There's Synthesia. There is even eye gaze change from NVIDIA broadcast, where you can change so that you're looking always straight to the camera rather than the screen. And finally, there is automatic social media clip generation from long video, like Choppity. Then there is all sorts of smaller tools which might be also useful, like generate backgrounds, generate configurations for your web shops based on a couple of images that you're selling, for example, on Etsy or Amazon. There is Pebbly, Boot AI, and others. So let me end with one personal case study here. There is the stastem.com website where you can generate personalized stories for children in a small book format that you can give as a gift. And this is a great example of making a business case out of these small tools, because the people who build it, they just use the text-to-image generation. They use the text-to-text generation with things like ChatGPT to generate the personalized stories. Then they use some other tool to slap the faces in the images, to stylize them as cartoons, and then to process it nicely together. And this makes a great gift, and this is literally run by one person. So basically nowadays you can build business even as a solo entrepreneur. So thank you for joining this episode of AI Ranch. As a gratitude for us or the work we do, please press like and subscribe to spread the word, and see you in the next episode.